ready for this big road trip tomorrow. And I thought, I want to go live while I clean my car. I've done a really good job, actually. I've even had a paintbrush out, right, to get in all the little cracks. So, done all sorts. Just recorded a little video to go out tonight. So, just thought I'd go live, see who's around, see if I can give this car a little bit of a clean up. And I thought, well, if I'm cleaning my car, I might as well do it live. Do it live with you. Like I am just doing the glass at the minute. Oh, I've already vacuumed. I've vacuumed everything. I've actually made a nice piece of carpet for the boot, because I like to do that before I go away. I like to clean the boot out and then get a big piece of carpet and then cut it to the exact size of the boot. So that way, you know, and then the boot's lovely and clean when you put all your luggage in. Hello everyone. Afternoon, Tim. Just a little bit of a live. Oh, I'm out of breath. Just while I'm cleaning the car up ready. Popped out to the shop earlier on to pick up a little bit of milk. Sadly not raw milk because we've run out of raw milk. Yeah, went for a blast in my T5. It's all right, this car. It's got a couple of suspension knocks. There's a few bushes that need doing. There's one on the back left that concerns me the most. Afternoon all. Just a little bit of car cleaning and a little bit of chat. I've just filmed a video actually. It's going to go up at about 6:30 and it's quite good. It's a general sort of afternoon everyone. Happy Easter everyone. You know I did that video the other day, general update. Well, today's video is adding some stuff onto that and going through a load of your comments and then reading some of the letters that I've received over the last couple of days. Oh, it's quite nice. We haven't done much today. The kids are building a bit of Lego. My wife, actually, you might be interested in this. My wife has got one of these reverse osmosis. No, I don't want to clean your car. I never want to clean my own cars, but it's nice to be outside, isn't it? My wife's got one of these reverse osmosis water filters that she's been setting up this afternoon. So it's not one of the ones that you wire into the house. It's like a countertop one. So we've been experimenting with having some reverse osmosed water, because obviously tap water's bad for you. And I gotta admit, tastes pretty good. So what Lego set are the kids building? They're well into Ninjago at the minute, Lego Ninjago. So everything they're building is pretty much Lego Ninjago. So just put the window down a little bit. So you got to catch the top of the window, haven't you? See, no point. Water distillers are the best. 690 miles in the Jag official vehicle. Oh, nice one, Graham. I love that those Jag official, the official vehicles are knocking around somewhere. Just when I picked this car up, it wasn't the cleanest. It wasn't too bad, but if you're going on a road trip, yeah, normally I do go to the local Romanians, but they're not open today. So, and I hate having mucky glass, especially for filming as well. I mean, it's bad enough for looking out of, but mucky glass when you're filming is terrible. So we're off to the northeast of the country, which I'm quite excited about, tomorrow morning. I'll tell you what's cool about these Volvo saloons, right? You can put the back seats down and it goes all the way through to the boot. Well, you can't do that with many modern saloons, can you? Mostly they'll have like a ski hatch, or it'll be like a firewall almost, and you can't actually get through there. Yeah, his car it's just a bit grubby. It's not too bad. So I just thought I'd give it a little bit of a clean and chat to you guys whilst we're going. How's your Easter Sunday going? Demist and smeary windows get my goat. Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to open the sunroof up a little bit so we don't steam up. I bloody love having a sunroof. It really is the feature that I like the most in cars. Can't wait to get the Astromax 2.0 petrol turbo out this summer and get done fuel burnt just for our mate Khan. Yes, Roger. I don't think Khan really cares, but you know, he's part of the agenda, isn't he? He's all part of it. And we get a little bit conspiratorial in this video that's going up at 6:30 tonight. So how does the sunroof get so grubby? I suppose because everything rises up there. Headline is falling down a little bit. Do you know what happens if you just eat crisps? No. What happens if you just eat crisps? I can't imagine it's good. Went for a spirited drive in the Yorkshire Moors yesterday. That's where we're going, actually. Copped a stone that cracked my windscreen. Oh, gutted AD. I'd love one of them Volvos as an estate diesel auto. I know you can't find them though. I'm going to be restoring my 850 TDI is going to be going back on the road in the coming weeks. just because I bloody love that car. I love Volvo 850s and I love fuel economy. So I just need to get on with it and put it back on the road. It's been parked up for far too long and it's going to cost me a little bit to put it right, but it's the right car for me. So I've got to do it. That means my X5 is going to be going. I don't know whether that'll be sold or what, but I'm basically finished with that. Oh, the camera's on that side today. Digging out my E39 police car this month as soon as the wrists heal. Yeah, I saw that, Jace. What did you do with your how did you damage it? Oh, I saw your WhatsApp and I was like, oh my gosh, how has he managed to break both his wrists? Yeah, very unfortunate, that dude. When I worked as a dinner lady for a little while, a kid did that. He climbed over a fence that he wasn't supposed to climb over to go and retrieve a football. Fell off the fence and landed flat on his wrists and broke both of them. They were both bent upwards. And then when we said to him, what were you doing? Were you climbing on the fence? He said, no, I just fell over in the playground. We were like, there's no way you fell over in the playground and did that. But it was pretty funny. Oh yeah, so we're getting a bit cleaner. Glass is coming up now. I've done the inside. I'm going to go a good vacuum. Gone around everything with a with the paintbrush, and I really like these beige interiors. And a nice light interior on a Volvo 850. It's quite a lovely thing. I prefer the beige over the dark, actually. What do you think? Are you a beige interior person or a dark interior person? What do you prefer? I used to always be dark, but as I've got older, I now realise that beige interiors are where it's at. What's better, Geoff, a new Ferrari or a Volvo estate? What are you going to do with a new Ferrari, Dom? You're going to prance around in it. People are going to stare at you and take pictures. And then when it comes to actually, you know, say, oh, darling, fancy a weekend away? And she'll go, yeah, but we're not taking the Ferrari because I can't get the kids in it and I don't like people staring at us all the time. So there's your answer. What's better, a Ferrari or a Volvo? I'll take a Volvo every day, but it's got to be an old one. You know, buying this one has made me realise just how much I love these 850s. They're superb cars, very well built, nice and sturdy. So yeah, these are the cars for me. I'm turning into a bit of a specialist with these 850s as well. I can drive one and tell you everything that's wrong with it at the same time. So, hearing aid beige in my 330 diesel M Sport. Yes, Peter, that sounds good. Have you done a video on the new car tax bans? No, not yet, I haven't. Partly because I don't want to look at them. But no, I will do one, don't worry. That'll be coming out soon. What's everybody having for dinner tonight? Easter Sunday. What you got for dinner? Who's cooking what? Matt Bavaria, who's a good friend of mine, he's texted me already. He's having a roast lamb, which I thought sounded lovely. We're having a very unseasonal spaghetti bolognese tonight, but it's because we got the mince out a few days ago and never used it. We ordered pizza on Friday night because I was late back, and then yesterday we went for a barbecue because the weather was good. So the mince needs using. So that's it. Tonight we're having a spag bowl, but I like cooking actually. Who's that? Just had a chicken dinner. Someone had a chicken dinner. Slapped ham. Geoff, did you hear any more about the sabotage? No, I didn't, but I'll tell you something really funny. I dropped the car off with Paul, and then I texted him and I explained what had happened on text, because it was obviously very rude of me to just drop the car off without saying anything. So I phoned him and he didn't answer. And then I texted him and I explained what had happened and why it was dumped outside his unit. And then today he texted me and I realised I was texting and phoning totally the wrong Paul. I had two people in my phone. One was saved as Paul Classic Barn Finds and one was saved as Paul Classic Cars, and I'd been texting the wrong one. So we had no idea why my Renault was outside his unit. And I was like, I'm so sorry for dropping it off and not saying anything, because I felt that was incredibly rude. But no, I basically said to him, look, it's not running, have a look, no hurry, because I've got other cars. Like I say, we're going away for a few days anyway. And then we've locked a few other things in the diary. After the kids go back to school, I'm going to be doing another video with James Ruppert from Bangonomics, because James is great. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to go travel up and see him. So we'll have a road trip up there, take one of my cars and go and see him. So that'll be fun. Not Easter eggs, egg-themed chocolates. I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't buy into all this crap. And the funny thing is, like, the fact that you know that I don't buy into all this crap, it's part of the reason the YouTube channel is growing, because people are sick of it. They're absolutely sick of pandering to these like tiny minorities and ignoring British culture and, you know, deconstructing everything that makes our country. And it's just completely disrespectful, isn't it? And people have had enough. And I like to talk a bit of sense on my YouTube channel, and so does Richard Vobes, and Lee the Mapmaster's talking some sense these days as well, and Tony from EV Carnage, he likes to talk a lot of sense. And people tune in, and our YouTube channels grow because we don't want to be lectured by the wokerati. You know, we don't want to be hearing all this crap about, like, yeah, okay, I'm happy, let's respect Ramadan, brilliant. You're enjoying Ramadan, no worries, crack on with it. But let's not make it the be all and end all. We're not interested, you know. We as a nation, we're essentially a Christian nation, and all of those festivals should be honoured and they should be respected, not just diluted as part of our culture. You'd never have that in a, you know, imagine Far Eastern countries like going all out to celebrate the Christian Christmas and respecting the birth of Jesus. They'd be hung in the street. Have you heard any more about the runaway Jag? No, I haven't, and he hasn't replied to any of my messages, so I don't know what's going on. As soon as I hear something about that, I'll let you know. I've done a lovely job cleaning this car. I'm looking forward to jumping in it for a road trip tomorrow now. I really am. I filled the tank earlier on as well. It's not exactly going to be great on fuel. I'll be amazed if I get 30 to the gallon out of it, but oh, he's fast, you know. When you're in like third, fourth gear and going flat out, that's like 60 to 120, so I'm told, is where this car just comes into its own, and it's still going from there. It's such a lovely thing to drive. So it's got under my skin a little bit already, actually. So I can see this car hanging around for a little while, even though it's a saloon. Yeah, I'm just quite fond of it. So let's get it nice and clean. Do you know what? I always clean my car for my wife as well, because I appreciate that I make her drive around and be a passenger in a lot of old cars, and I feel like the least I can do if we're going on a road trip in an old car with my wife beside me is make it nice and clean for her, so that she enjoys it, which I think is quite sweet. Do you use E10? Yeah, it's all I could get today, so I chucked E10 in it. I just ate a £2 tomahawk steak. Now I've got a can of Guinness on the go. I only eat meat, to be honest. Me too, Frankie. Me too. It's pretty much all we eat. Yesterday on the barbecue, we had some kangaroo steaks that I bought for the failed barbecue from a few weeks ago. My best mate, Craig, he's the king of the barbecue. Honestly, he does such a great barbecue. He does get bollocks, though. So by the end of the afternoon, my wife was driving. But flipping out, I was hammered by the end of last night. But we'd had such a good night. It had been his birthday. We bought him a bottle of Talisker whiskey. And I didn't mean like, here's a bottle of Talisker whiskey for your birthday, you must open it and we must share a lot of it tonight. But that's the way he rolls. He's a very, very good host. Your glass is always full. So he was feeding me very strong sea salt gin and tonics all afternoon. That was after we'd finished all the beers. And then the chimney went on and we moved on to the whiskey. And apparently on the drive home, I decided I was going to eat an Easter egg in the passenger seat, and I smashed it on my forehead, which was quite funny. Yeah, I was a bit rough this morning. Not in a bad way, though. I was just a bit slow. What was that comment there about Geoff letting his guard down? That was a funny comment. I love it when G lets his guard down and doesn't quite censor his speech and drops a huge Brummie accent word. Thank you, Danish Bacon. Do you know what? My accent is quite fluid. You'll have probably noticed this as well. The Volvo was 1,300 quid, but it was actually 1,290 quid, because when we counted the money out, there was a tenner missing, which I think my wife had stolen. And I had some cash in my other pocket, and I said to him, "Oh, I'll find it for you." And he was like, "Oh, don't worry, call it 1,290 quid." So 1,290 quid, and like I said, it's not perfect. It's got the lambda light on. The gear shift light has gone off today, so that's good news. So we've got no gear shift light today, no ABS light. So just that. My main concerns are knocking from the front right and knocking from the rear left, which will basically be the bushes on the suspension. So it's relatively easy to sort out. But it doesn't handle as well as some 850s that I've had, and I suspect that is just because the suspension's a bit worn. So if I was to sort of polybush this car and just like refresh everything, I mean, at the end of the day, it's 240,000 miles. So I'd expect it to have a few issues like that. I'm Ukrainian born, came over here 23 years ago at the age of 23, and I couldn't be happier living in Blighty. I love the culture, banter, mentality, freedom, Magna Carta, United Kingdom is the best. Thanks for that comment, Vlad. Out of interest, anti-roll bar bushing. Thank you, Dale. Yeah, it will be. Out of interest, whereabouts are you living in the country? Because I do, like, there's so much to be proud of about Britain. You know, we've got this fantastic countryside. You know, I claim to be a surfer, and I've surfed all over the world, and I will still say that on a sunny day, there's no better beach in the world to be on than the beaches of Cornwall and Devon. They are as beautiful as any beaches I've been ever. I think the beaches in Cornwall are better than the beaches in California. Have you heard Piers Corbyn is running for London Mayor? Is he? Now, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be a very interesting turn up for the books. I'm quite enjoying this. I'm cleaning my car whilst chatting to all of you guys. Got a little bit. I just got a glass. I'm not one of these people that has like cupboards and cupboards full of car cleaning stuff, you know, and different stuff for this and different stuff for that. I've got some glass cleaner and I'm using it for the whole of the interior. Holywell Bay is the best beach in the UK. I love Holywell Bay. I dated a girl that lived very near to Holywell Bay for a little while, and yeah, we used to walk down to Holywell Bay, and I've surfed Holywell Bay, and I had absolutely fantastic surf session in the top corner, the northernmost corner of Holywell Bay. Good, best surf you'll ever, when it's working, best surf you'll ever find. I'm more partial to Watergate though. Watergate Bay is about as good as it gets. When North Watergate is working, phenomenal. And you get those odd summer sessions where you're in your shorts, you're not wearing your wetsuit because it's warm enough. Amazing, absolutely love it. But yeah, I mean, we live up here now. We did try to move to Cornwall a while ago. Ireland has top-notch beaches. Yeah, I mean, my wife is mostly Irish. I think that's where we get our slightly pikey nature from. So we've been to Ireland. We did a driving tour around Ireland in an E46 330 diesel some years ago when the kids were tiny. We got family in Ireland, or she's got family in Ireland. Or well, she got slightly less family in Ireland now because one of them died mysteriously from a heart condition, which is weird because he'd never had any heart conditions prior to taking the medical intervention, which was very sad. But obviously, with a lot of people, you can't convince them that there was anything wrong with it. You know, it's really sad that that's the case. Croyd in Devon has the most powerful wave in the UK. I would probably agree with that. Croyd, low tide, when it's pumping, when the tide is on the turn, wow, you can get mullered in like no depth of water. But on a good day, Croyd is fantastic. Then you've also got, whilst we're talking about surfing, Porthleven down south, little fishing village right down at the bottom of the country, probably one of the best waves in Europe when it works. And then Pras Sands, high tide. See, when we used to surf at uni, when the waves used to go real steep and real dumpy, and it's like curling over and dumping into like the shallowest water, that's when I'd be in my element and I'd just be like going wild and getting absolutely destroyed. And the rest of the lads would be like, I can't believe you actually enjoy it when it's like that, like when it's dumping into like 2 inches of water. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed that. But the best surfs you used to have, it's the same with anything in life, right? If the surf forecast is really good and you tell yourself you're going to go and have the best session of your life, it'll be rubbish and you'll come out miserable. But if the surf is rubbish and you walk out with an open mind, you'll have the best surf of your life. And I feel like life is very much like that, isn't it? You shouldn't expect too much, and you should work hard to try and enjoy yourself. If you just presume that you're going to be happy all the time, then you won't be. You know, happiness comes in small little moments, and happiness is in the little things, and happiness needs to be worked at. You know, happiness isn't like a permanent state. Happiness is something that comes and goes. Sometimes it's quite difficult to recognise when we actually are happy. Too many surfers are being eaten by sharks. Down here in South Australia, yes, they are. Because you've got all the problems with all the fish being taken away. So the sharks are now protected as well. The sharks have got less food to eat. So where are the sharks going for food? They're coming inland. And obviously we spent a bit of time in Egypt recently. And there's been a few shark attacks in Egypt. And when you read up on why that is, in fact, going back to Ramadan, part of the reason is there's a load of sheep that are brought over for sacrifices. And when they die on the boat on the way over, they just chuck them out. And they chuck them out very close to they chuck them out very close to where the tourists are. So then that brings the sharks in closer to the land. And then when the sheep aren't there, what is there? Well, the tourists swimming around. It's crazy. The thatch inn at Croyd is amazing. I know it very well indeed. I've had some funny nights at the thatch. In fact, we got, you know Ruda, the caravan site down near Croyd. I'm sure if you dug back into their records, I'm actually banned from, I'm banned from Ruda caravan site. And the reason that I'm banned from Ruda caravan site is due to an excessive amount of mud on the ceiling of a caravan. So when I was younger, I used to run the University Surf Society, and we hosted an event at Croyd, and one of the universities had a kid in their surf club whose surname was Pig. So whenever they used to get hammered, they used to spider pig him, like Homer. So they'd walk him like a pig along the roof of whatever building they were in at the time. It was like their university thing. But it rained all weekend and they'd all just come in from outside. So when they spider pigged him across the roof, there was muddy footprints all the way across the roof of this 32-foot static caravan. And as a result of that and some other things that happened that weekend, I was banned from Ruda. But I did go there with my family not too long ago, and we checked in, and I was very coy, being like, oh, I hope they haven't got my name down on some list. But I think it's all water under the bridge now. But that was really funny. We ran into a lot of trouble with security that night as well, because one of the guys from one of the universities was driving really fast between the campsite and the thatch, and he was doing taxi runs for people. And on the last run, I was in the front, and there was about 12 people in the car. And at the thatch, someone jumped on the roof because they thought it was funny. Now, matey boy in the driver's seat, he thought that the person on the roof had jumped off and was walking back with all the other people. He's going down that road to Ruda at like 40, 50 mile an hour, and he doesn't realise the chap's still on the roof. So as we pull into Ruda Holiday Park, security just sees this car pulling in at high speed with a kid holding on for dear life on the roof. And they pulled us over and confiscated the keys and all sorts. It was really sketchy. We thought we were going to get kicked out there and then. And we had to try and explain that, the driver didn't realise that there was someone on the roof at the time. But yeah, good memories. But I'm amazed, amazed we didn't get in more trouble when we were running those surf competitions. We got lucky, really, and then nothing major happened, because I don't think we had any proper insurance or anything like that. We were just we were fairly young, and we were just trying to have a good time. Had a trundle through to Matlock Bath in the PT this morning for a yummy breakfast. Everyone loves it. Thank you, Annie. That's so good to see that. I'm glad to see. Yeah, then they would do, because it's a biker scene up there, isn't it? So everybody would love that. Ray says, have I heard about the fire at Chemex Auto Centre in Stourbridge? Yes, I have. And the mechanic, although it's not in the news, the mechanics are saying it was an electric Mini Cooper, aren't they? It's now been basically confirmed to me from various different places that the media has an embargo on electric car fires. They are not allowed to cover them. So it's now the job of citizen reporters like myself, a bloke cleaning his Volvo on a Sunday afternoon. It's now my job to report electric car fires to you, which is crazy. So myself and other people, and I know that there's plenty of people out there doing it. Who's that? Just in the garage now, Geoff. Wondering if I can convert my motorcycle to coal power so I can help save the world by buying Welsh steam coal. There's a lot about coal in my 6:30 p.m. video tonight, because there were so many comments about coal. For some reason, the coal thing has really resonated with you. And we have some coal experts who are following the channel, which is great. So there's some really good comments in that. Right, where are we at? 23 minutes. Really, I need to clean the outside of the car. I can't really do that whilst broadcasting. I haven't really got the camera. Should I move into the back of the car, see if I can put the camera somewhere? I don't know how well that'll work. Do the back windows. That might work. Where are we at? If I can just take you with me. I'll climb over. Coal. I think we're sitting on about 200 years worth of coal. Yeah, I think 300. 300 is what I'm hearing. 300 years worth of coal in Wales. Saw a video on China, and apparently have 300 EV vehicles a day set on fire. Yeah, and apparently you can go on the New York Fire Services website. I haven't done it yet. And they're reporting like 15 a day just in New York. My son's been cleaning his Volvo on Easter Sunday. Must be a thing. I reckon it is, Mark. Yeah. Clean your car. Hey, that works, doesn't it? I'm just a little bit further back, but I can still see the comments. So we can roll from here. Yeah, the coal thing was interesting. And you'll see when I get into a bit of a rant at the end of this video that's going out at 6:30 tonight. why can't we just be self-sufficient? Why can't we have a government that says, do you know what? We have got a lot to be proud of in this country. We do produce some cool stuff, and we are going to be a world leader. We are an island, and we're going to be self-sufficient. With Welsh coal and Welsh lamb, like, what else do you need? You know, and there's a bit in there from a lorry driver who's exporting Welsh lamb abroad. Well, why are we sending Welsh lamb abroad and eating lamb from New Zealand? Well, oh, it's to do with the money. Well, we need to sort that out then, don't we? We need to work out subsidies for the farmers so that British people can eat British food. It's that simple. And yet it's not, is it? It's, you know, oh, I don't know. What do I know? Like I say, I'm just a bloke cleaning his Volvo. Good evening from West Australia, Geoff. Thanks for the brilliance of YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I try. I say I'm just a bloke in a car. Quite a nice car today, actually. I like this one. Yeah, getting nice and tidy for the wife and kids. I think one of my favourite things is when we're on a road trip, right? And the kids are asleep and the wife's dropped off to sleep and I'm listening to a podcast just covering distance. I love that. We had a real good moment when we drove our 850 TDI to Portugal, and my wife kind of, before she fell asleep, she was like, how many miles do you think you can do before you need to stop? And I was thinking, I don't know. And it must have been about 1 in the morning by that point. And I had a really good podcast on, and then the whole car was quiet. They were all fast asleep. And I think I drove 400 miles like that. It was fantastic. And then in the morning when my wife woke up, she was like, where are we? And she looked at a map and she's like, how did you do that? How on earth did you do that? I was like, I was just enjoying it. There's nowhere I'd rather be than in a car. And again, that's like, I'm not a political activist, you know. It's not like I've set up to be some like Che Guevara figure. I'm just a bloke that likes driving cars, old cars, really long distances. And it's crazy that it's got to be me that stands up for all of that. You know, I'm not trying to be anything. I don't want to start a movement. I just want to protect my right to do something. There's only one thing wrong with that 850 apart from the knock-in. It's got a boot. I know, Mark. I know. I find it odd as well. Like, I pulled out of a junction earlier, and you know, I'm in my home zone. I'm in an 850, and I look over my shoulder to pull out, and I'm like, why does it look weird? Because there's a piece missing at the back of the car. Yeah. I need to try and find a beige interior for my 850 TDI. So if anyone's selling a beige interior for a Volvo 850, I'll have it. Right. That was it. Just fancied a little chat whilst we were doing the inside of the car, where we're at 27 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I think I'm going to call that an afternoon. As I said, there's another video going up at 6:30 p.m. It's a fairly long one. I think that's about half an hour long as well. Yeah, enjoy that one. Got some really cool stuff coming up for the channel. It's going to be a bit haphazard over the next few weeks. I've got a road trip tomorrow. We're going to see John Hamer, who wrote The Falsification of History. We're actually going out for dinner with him. It's quite sweet. He's invited us out for dinner on Monday night, so we're going out for dinner. So, oh yeah, hit that like button and subscribe. What's your favourite driving music? Tropical House. Go on YouTube and just type in like Ibiza Tropical House Mix 2021 or whatever, and you can find mixes that people have put together that are like 45 minutes, an hour long. Love stuff like that. So, yeah, and I got those on an iPod. So I need to get a tape adapter for this so I can listen to my iPod. Anyway, hang on, don't distract me. Right, things coming up on the channel. Interview with John Hamer, that's going to be tomorrow. I'm on telly tomorrow as well. I'm on, TNT, the Australian one with the Irish guy. I really like those guys. So I'm on there tomorrow as well. So we've got the road trip from here up to John Hamer's place. Then we've got a bit of content coming up in Scarborough sort of way, northeast. Then the week after that, I'm going to see James Rupper. And there's a chap you might have heard of. He was something to do with a pharmaceutical company or something. What's his name? Mike. Yeah, there's him. So he apparently is quite a big fan of Geoff Buys Cars. So I'm going to go and have a chat with him as well. So that's coming up. Then a little bit later on in May, Benidorm or Bust. The Matt Master and I are both driving to Benidorm in 2 separate cars. That's going to be great content. Yeah, it's raining in Scarborough tomorrow. So yeah, Matt Master and I are going to then do some content in Benidorm. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to drive to Spain probably in this, to be fair, because I just fancy it. And then I'll fly the wife and kids out, which was what we were supposed to be doing this week, but we haven't done it because Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. You all know him. He's like a big deal, but he's a real Geoff fan, which I'm quite humbled by. And we email quite a lot. We've had quite a few email exchanges about different things. So we're going to plan on getting together and doing something. Hoping to have a barbecue with Doc Malik at some point as well. And I think you and Nino from NEV would be a great collab. I don't know who that is, but email them, email me, see if we can make it happen. And then Shedfest as well, which is Auto Alex's show, May the 4th, I think that is, at Mallory Park. Auto Alex has granted me a show ticket, even though it's sold out. Basically, he bowed to the pressure. Lots of people were Instagramming him the other night. And, oh, not economically viable. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so I'm going to be at Shedfest, and I'll probably be in this car for Shedfest, because let's be honest, I quite like it. Right, I'm now going to treat my leather with some Renapur leather balsam, and I'm going to crack on. Although there's a couple of channel sponsors that have come on board as well, which are going to allow me to do some cool stuff. But as I said all along, I would never take channel sponsorship from someone that makes a product that I'm not interested in. So if I do an advertisement within one of my videos, then you can trust that there's a reason that it's in there, because I can't tell you the amount of dash cams and Android adaptation systems and like mobile phone interfaces, jump packs, what else? I'd get offered that much rubbish, and they want to pay decent rates to advertise as well. But I'm just like not interested in having that sort of stuff on the channel. So like I say, I do mean it. If I accept someone to sponsor the channel, what I say is send me your product and I'll try it out, and then we'll go from there. And that's what we've been doing. So there are some products that we've been trying and we've been using for the last month, and I'm like, do you know what? These are all right. I'm comfortable with putting them on my channel, and that's what matters. Channel sponsorship is getting out of hand in videos though. Please don't go crazy with them. I never would. It would be yeah, it would be. It's not going to be on every video, because I hate that. I have a surfboard in southern Spain somewhere. My mate died with it in his possession. I think he may have been killed by ivermectin. Well, surely he wasn't killed by ivermectin. But email me if there's a story with a surfboard that I can follow up. Have you got a cassette adapter for your iPad? Somewhere, yes. I need to find it, because that's what we're going to be using. Because I mean, the stereo in this Volvo, do you want to see it? Look, I'll show you. It's such an elegant little stereo. Look, so simple. And if I want to put the audio in the back for the kids, I just do that, right? And if I've got a bit too much bass or not enough bass and treble, I just slide that. Now try that on your modern touchscreen cars. It's just ridiculous. And if I want to turn it off, it's just that. Power, volume, push and pause. So there you go. No, Monsanto won't be offering to sponsor me anytime soon. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with sponsorships. I'll only like I say, I'll only take sponsors on if I think it's a product that I like and that you like. Which maximum 15 years old, which diesel workhorse shall I buy? Probably a BMW with the 2-litre diesel engine. That's what I'd go for. This is a really funny live, isn't it? I kind of look like my body's completely stuck in the back there. But that is the end of the video. 33 minutes, that'll do. Thank you very much, everybody. Like I said, there's a video going up at 6:30 p.m. tonight. It's a general chat, and not Car Vertical. I know it off by heart. I've got a funny story about Car Vertical sponsoring me, but I think they're trying to chase me through their legal team. Yeah. EV ads, you probably have EV ads on tonight's video. So lots more chat coming up, lots more road trips. And if you've got ideas, like if you think, oh, Geoff, do you know what would be a great video? Then just email them over. I know everybody does email me anyway with suggestions and with articles and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I like it, and I try to read every email. I try to read every comment. I don't read every Instagram message because that's just gotten ridiculous. And I don't run the TikTok account. There is Laura, who's probably in the comments somewhere here. She's now running my TikTok page for me, so I have no idea if I'm a TikTok star or not. Maybe I'm a TikTok millionaire. I don't know. Maybe one day, eh? Right, thanks very much, everybody, for watching. 6:30 p.m. for the next video, which is a whistle stop through, well, all sorts of interesting stuff that is come on in from various comments. Cool. Right, I'm going to crack on with cleaning my car. See you in a bit.